you are guilty of babying her. And I was like, my baby? Yes, I do baby my baby. It was just a moment of like, oh, you don't consider your baby a
Yeah.
baby. It's in the
Yeah.
crib for more hours a day than it's with anyone. Yes, I will baby her for as long as she allows me to baby her because she needs that.
Welcome to Spoil Your Baby podcast. I am very excited to be here today with my sister-in-law, Kelly Yefet. She is a new mom, an entrepreneur, an amazing mom and business person and human in general. And we've known each other for 17 or 18 years.
Most of my life.
And most of your life. And Kelly was also in my lab during my PhD. You're the second author on one of my papers.
I know. I can't believe you did that. It's so amazing.
You did a lot of work. I always give all my students the most credit I can.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about your experience in motherhood today. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on and for teaching me how to raise Noah the way I am. I wouldn't have done it without you. I keep telling you it's the Greer method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I should call the podcast the Greer method.
Yeah. Trademark that.
Trademark it. Yeah, I mean, your baby's the most incredible baby, as all babies are the most incredible baby, but obviously I'm partial to
Thank
her.
you.
And I wanted to have you on today to kind of give moms an idea of what it's like to fully embrace a high nurture approach. And I think it just gives people confidence and like connection when they hear other people going through this too. Cause so many people are like you maybe included, like you have some people in your life, but like so many people are the only person they know who aren't sleep training or who are, taking the approach. And you and I have had so many conversations about like what makes this different because people ask you. So we'll talk about that too. Let's start with pregnant Kelly and Corey, your husband.
Yeah.
What did you guys think having a baby was going to be like? What were you expecting? Tell us a little bit about your pre-baby mindset.
It's hard. It's such a blur now thinking back. But I'll tell you what I didn't think. I did not think I would raise Noah in any way like the way I am. I had really strong opinions about how I was going to raise her. And that included, I kept saying, I don't want to have a baby and it flipped my life upside down. Like I wanted her to be part of my life. I didn't want my life to become hers, which I still think that ended up being the case, but in a very different like method of how I got there. So I thought I would definitely sleep train her. She would be in the stroller. I just thought, like I'd love her unconditionally, but I was very much of the traditional mindset because that's what, other than you, actually, other than my family, that's how all my friends were doing it. And I was like, well, my circle is doing it that way. Greer is crazy. I'm not doing that. That means your entire life becomes your baby. And I feared that. And I think I also saw the judgment that other moms got by saying the next year of my life is going to be dedicated, or 3 years, the rest of my life is dedicated to my babies. And I think there's a lot of judgment around that mindset.
It's really complicated.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the biggest part of your life no matter what.
100%. And to go into having a baby with the mindset of it's not going to change my life, or I'm going to do everything to minimize how it changes my life, I think in retrospect is a crazy thought when you're bringing a human life into the world. Funny enough, I was just talking to my best friend's mom this morning, and she was saying that she breastfed her, like my best friend, until she was 3 years old. And she was like, I was ahead of the curve. And I was like, actually, you were like behind, like you were the old school way. But now she was like, a mom would be embarrassed to say that she's doing that. in some circles, in my
100%.
circle, at least with my friends, which is, so I think I went during pregnancy, that was my mindset, was very traditional, very, I mean, like
Yeah.
typical to
Modern.
modern way of raising her. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think, it's hard to define what the mainstream is, and then also hard to define what the high nurture way is.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is like a lot of detachment of like, I want my baby to have like do the least amount.
Yeah.
Maybe this low maintenance baby trend is like online again. Like I've seen it before. It's on again. I don't want them to need me so much. Everything at arm's length, everything like minimal interaction, minimal contact, minimal baby wearing, minimal care overnight.
Yeah.
And breastfeeding too goes along with that. If people breastfeed, I see in a lot of places, it's about 6 months, maybe 12 months would be a lot. Certainly not natural term, which is minimum of 2 years, which every single health agency in the entire world recommends, right? For so many different reasons. So amazing. My mom was like that too. She breastfed me and my brother for 2 or 3 years as well, which was also very unusual at the time. Okay. So that was before.
Yeah.
And then you brought Noah home, and tell us what happened.
So, well, I'll start in the hospital. We had her, and immediately I was like, I don't want to be away from her. Like, I just felt that very, very quickly. And I think a bit of knowing from you and reading your book and understanding this alternative, like quote unquote alternative way of raising her, was a bit of like in my ear. I still was very much like bassinet, and that's what we're going to do it differently from what Greer says. But then I had her in my arms and I'm like, well, maybe. But we still like swaddled her and we put her in the bassinet, and she cried and cried, and we were in a shared room. So I was like, it was more about, I don't want this other mom to hear my baby screaming. And of course I didn't want Noah to scream. And we had a nurse come in, and we're like, please help us swaddle her. We don't know how to. And she was like, you're going to be going home tomorrow. You need to figure it out. I can't keep doing it for you. And I was like, well, I don't know how to. So I guess she's just going to sleep on me. And Corey stayed up and put an alarm on every 4 minutes to make sure that he didn't sleep like a crazy person. And she was on my chest and
calm.
And like, that was the only place she was calm, of course. And then we came home, and I think I was still not admitting that I was about to enter a co-sleeping journey. And I was sleeping on our couch. We have an L-shaped couch. I was on one side, and Noah was tucked between like the couch and me in my arm. And Corey was on the other side again with the 4-minute alarm watching us. And we couldn't get her in the bassinet. And then I called you, and obviously we were chatting every couple hours probably. And you were just like, absolutely not. Like, I know you don't want to do it, but that is extremely unsafe. And it's almost like you're doing everything to not co-sleep, that you're actually putting your baby in more harm than if you were to just learn to do it properly. So we FaceTimed. You showed me how to set up my bed and how to make it all safe. And I have not looked back. And I think that was like the stepping stone into all the other things that I know you said it's hard to define it, but in how I've defined nurturing Noah and like the tactical things that I'm doing, that was like that just threw me over the edge of like, well, if I'm co-sleeping, then I'm doing everything. And it feels right.
So many people find that, right? They're like, if all the sleep stuff's BS and like none of that's going to work, like let me question everything. And also maybe let me lead it with my heart and intuition and like the good feelings about it, right?
The first night that we properly co-slept in the bed, and I told Corey, like, I think this is what I want to do. It feels right. He spent that whole, like, he did not that he was sleeping anyways, but he did not sleep that whole night because he was researching like all about co-sleeping, where it started, the history of independent sleep, and and it kind of bubbled up with all the research of, oh, now that we've done our due diligence from like, why independent sleep started, not necessarily the benefits of co-sleeping, but why the other way started. We were like, that is horrendous.
Yeah.
We don't want to be part of that. And I'm pushing myself to do at the time, like independent sleep, because I didn't want to be judged by other moms. Like that's not how you parent. And then I had you in my ear saying, just trust your intuition, just trust your gut, trust your gut. And the more that I trusted my gut, the more I trusted my gut. Like the more I figured out that pathway. And I even think with the apps, like I was using the app to tell me when she should sleep, when she should wake up, when she should feed. And at one point I told you, like it was driving me crazy because she wasn't following that app. And it's like, I felt like I was doing something wrong, or that she was wrong because I wasn't following it, or if she wasn't following those patterns. But at the same time, because I was so reliant on it, I didn't know how to trust her and like trust my intuition. And then once I just got rid of the apps, now we just have this like very symbiotic relationship where I just know her and I know when she's tired, and it doesn't follow any schedule. Like she really doesn't, even at 8 months, it's all over the place, but that works for us. And it's fine. And she's thriving.
I remember that day and I was like, you're still using the app. What's happening? And you're like, I don't know if I can tell if she's tired. And I was like, try the experiment. Just try it. Try it for a week. Like people, and it's such a good thing to bring up because so many people listening who are not sleep training are still going to have followed that too, right? Because it's there and it's, seemingly easy, but it's also a process. It's definitely a process for some, but it's also like, I would say relatively easy to figure out those sleep cues.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And you felt like
your
relationship deepened even more once you did that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because and I could put my phone away because I'm not constantly being like, oh, what time? I don't need my phone anymore. Whereas before you need it because I didn't know when to feed my own baby unless the app was telling me, God forbid my phone died, she'd starve. And then actually now recently I had a friend say to me, like, don't you want her on a schedule? Because sometimes she goes to bed at like 9 p.m. Corey and I will have dinner and she sits with us. And yes, it's late for a baby, but that's how it worked that day. And it's fine. And the three of us got to have a really nice dinner and we went for a walk together, and then she started to get tired. So we went to bed. So no, like I don't need her on a routine because that means I have to be on that routine. So I really like this. I'm very type A. And this is the first time I have like kind of let go of that. And it feels so nice. So it's that too of like my type A-ness was a process to let go of that. But it's been such a relief.
But it worked. The other thing, as you mentioned in the beginning, was like, do I have to totally give up my life? Right? You're on maternity leave. We're in Canada. You got 12 to 18 months here. So you are on maternity leave, but you're also bringing her around in your life, right? Like we have these discussions too. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So again, like having a routine would make it so that I'm on her schedule, but I call her either my like little Velcro or my kangaroo or my Joey, like, cause she just is, because we're not so regimented, I get to just enjoy my life, go have a walk with a friend, go for brunches, whatever. And she just is
host a keynote speaker at a major event.
Yeah. Like be on a panel. I get to like, I'm, still be part of these really amazing things. I was on stage and got to be with these like big time investors in Canada because that's something that I'm super passionate about doing. And I put little headphones on her and she came along for the journey, and it's totally fine. Had I been really regimented, none of those things would have worked because I'd have to be on her like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I have to be home for her nap. But no, she just kind of comes along and she naps on me. Like even at 8, everyone told me at 6 months, you're not going to be able to have her nap on you anymore. We're 8 months and she still loves napping on me. And it's amazing.
No,
it's
you can
the
use
best.
a carrier like for years.
Yeah. I'll eventually
might switch it to your back.
Exactly. So she'll swing around and become a little backpack at some point, but it's the best. And it's interesting to see parents for me just not get it. It's just so, but eventually you're going to want to move her in a crib, but eventually you're going to want, maybe, but also maybe not, because I remember I was old enough to have a memory of just wanting to be in my parents' bed and sleeping in between them. So why would I, like, if that's something that she needs to feel safe until she's XYZ age, why would I take that away from her? And
I love it. We have to have Corey, your husband, on another time too, because I wanted to pick up on that other thing you said as well. Like, I was so happy that like you guys did all your own research. You were on Reddit groups. You were like doing all these things, and Corey was coming at me like, "Can you believe this part and this part? And like, this is all based on nothing and that." And I was like, "Yeah."
He
And
was
like,
the
and thank
biggest
goodness
flip.
that's out there.
Yeah. He was the
Right?
biggest
And it's
flip.
not coming just from me.
Yeah.
I don't want
Actually,
that.
something interesting too at the very beginning, and maybe my mother-in-law will listen to this, and she's been incredibly supportive. But at the beginning, we were like, we're not going to tell her because we don't want to upset her that Noah's sleeping in the bed. And then eventually it's just like, well, it's obvious because her bedroom has become my gym. So she doesn't have a bedroom at our house. And she was like, yeah, of course, you guys just have to do whatever's comfortable for you. Now, I know not every mother-in-law is going to be that supportive, but it was just like a moment for me of, even if she wasn't supportive of it, well, who cares? This is how we're raising our baby. And eventually they'll get over it. In this case, she was just like, I don't care how you're sleeping as long as everyone's safe, like do your thing. Yeah. But I think that for a lot of people is also a worry of like how your family is going to perceive you or how they'll feel about what you're doing.
Absolutely. So many people have issues.
Yeah.
With people judging. It's so emotional. It's so emotional. I think it's because I did one of my first episodes on this because it's so triggering. They see how intimate and safe and supported and connected the relationship is. And that's like threatening because like either they didn't get that or they didn't do that. And they're like, I don't want anyone to have it if I didn't.
Yeah.
You know? So people just, you know, some family members, friends, they will like attack a high nurturing mother, like calling them constantly, like saying like, I hope you're putting your baby down today. Like, I hope that you're not, you know, loving that baby as much as I know you are.
I had a friend tell me, I can't remember what it was, but we were talking about something with Noah, and she's like, well, you know, you are guilty of babying her. And I was like, my baby? Yes, I do baby my baby. It was just a moment of like, oh, you don't consider your baby a baby. Yeah. Like it's in the crib for more hours a day than it's with anyone. Yes, I will baby her for as long as she allows me to baby her because she needs that.
What an accusation. You're babying your baby.
Yeah. It was just like one of those moments like, oh, okay, I'm happy that that's not how I'm doing things.
Yeah. And you bring that up too, right? That's the other huge difference is like, you know, there's the deep relationship. There's the, you know, connectedness to your baby's cues for feeding and tiredness and play and all of their emotions requires so much emotional work and energy. Yeah. You're baby wearing, you're holding her for naps, you're going for walks with her in the carrier, you're co-sleeping. That's adding up to many hours together versus a baby who's, you know, encouraged to play alone on the floor a lot, who's encouraged to sleep in their crib alone for naps and for overnight. Like that ends up being, I always say it's 50 to 60% less input to the baby, just the number of hours. So right? Wild. If not the quality of the relationship too.
Yeah.
It's night and day, right?
It goes to, I know we were chatting about this just before, but wherever I go with Noah, and maybe there's like you want to dig into this more, but wherever I go with her, I always get like people are always telling me she's such a happy baby. She's such a happy baby. She's such a happy baby. And she smiles at everyone and she waves at everyone. And this has been from like the moment she could smile to now at 8 months. And I hear a lot of the time, like, you're so lucky that you have such a happy baby. She hardly ever cries, like very rarely. And there is probably an element of luck. I don't know, like I was saying to you, I don't know in the parallel. Right? Yeah. And I don't know in a parallel universe, if I did sleep train her and I did all the other things, I don't know what she would have turned out to be like. But in this universe, I don't think that it's luck. I think that I have dedicated all of those hours so that, and as Josh, like my brother, your husband says, he's like, his theory is that I've given her so much safety and nourishment and all of these things by spending so much time with her that it allows her to be curious and allows her to actually interact with other people and smile and feel safe to interact with people. Whereas other babies are a bit on high alert, so they don't have the opportunity to smile. So I think that I've had an easier time than most moms because I love the co-sleeping and I love the baby wearing. But I think that's also really hard work to dedicate that much time to her. And it's allowed her to be this like very calm, very happy, very playful baby.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
We all know it.
She's the best baby.
I mean, it's true. It is true, right? We do know that, right? She expects people to be supportive and safe and loving. She does not expect people to be scary or rejecting or, isolating her or ignoring her. And she's trusting the world, right? And she is able to be in safety, to be exploratory and social and curious and develop her mind, right? Versus like preoccupied with, is my mom going to answer me the next time I'm stressed? Is someone going to be there for me? Are they available now? Are they not available now? Like babies monitor, if they don't have that safe, secure, constant care, they're always looking for it. Right. Like, and they have to use a lot of their energy to find it.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Yeah, completely. She's so special and you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
And might I add that koala baby is napping right now.
She is napping on her own. Yep, I got my monitor. If you see me looking off to the side, but yeah. And like sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of the time she gets a 2-hour afternoon nap and she sleeps the 2 hours and I get to do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
And it took a bit to get here, but she feels safe in bed and it's great.
Yes. Completely. And there's always those landmarks too, right? It's always like, this is a season, especially those first 6 months, or like we say, like 9 months in, 9 months on, 9 months beside, 9 months, or the rest of your life around, hopefully, if like they love us and trust us.
Yeah.
Because that's another huge part. You're setting her up to be able to come to you as her safe person forever, right? Which is what every parent wishes for. And now you're in this next stage, right? Where like she's in the next phase of sleep. She is comfortable and safe on her own for naps in the first part of the night. And that just grows and grows, right?
Yeah,
as time goes on.
I think just to hit on, that's another point that if anyone's listening and like deciding what their journey might look like, I get a lot of comments from my circle of, don't you just want like a few minutes to yourself? Like, don't you need mom time? One, like I feel that I still get to do all the things I want to do. Like I got a pedicure the other day and she just sat on my lap and played. So I still get to do all the things I want to do. But at
I used to get my eyebrows done.
You can do. I went and got a Brazilian, and she just like sat on me. And the lady was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're good. Like
we're one. It's fine."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, she knows those parts. Like we're all good. But so yes, I do get to do all of the me things. But also at nighttime, I do get my evenings. It maybe took longer than if I were to sleep train her, but I put her down to bed if she's not on one of her like 9 p.m. evenings, but I put her to bed, she sleeps, and then I come out, me and my husband hang out for the evening, and then I go back to bed with her. So there is like, I still get a couple hours a day that is just my time. So maybe it took longer than sleep training, but I got there knowing that she's safe and happy and comfortable with doing that.
And you've been rested this whole time, relatively rested, and got you just rest during the day a little bit.
No, and that too, at nighttime, I think I get more sleep than other moms because I'm also like still like breastfeeding on demand, but because I'm not waking up and having to go pull her out of a crib or a bassinet and feed her and rock her and put her back. I just roll over and she's there.
Yeah.
Like it makes it easier.
You barely have to wake up sometimes.
I hardly wake up. Now I definitely don't wake up. Like, I don't know if she's sleeping. I mean, a little bit I wake up, but like she could sleep through the night or she like just feeds on her own. And I can wake up in the morning and not really remember what it was like because she's like
James
figured it out.
Kind of calls it breast sleeping.
Yes.
Right. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And when we can relax into it and have the confidence, it can be that way. So Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. We'll try to get Corey on another episode, which will be really fun.
I think that'll be a cool perspective because he totally changed his belief system on raising
I feel
her.
like I should get Josh to host Corey.
That would be cool.
And they should do a dad episode.
I love that idea.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Awesome. And let's tell everybody about our collaboration.
Yes.
So Kelly was also able to launch a business.
Yeah.
With her baby between 0 and 8 months. It started in late pregnancy, maybe?
Yeah, I think we started in my end of third, like August, so end of third trimester.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. So we created these amazing affirmation cards for moms. If you're watching the video, you can see. They're beautiful cards that just give you a boost of like love and celebration. And how else would you describe them, Kelly?
I think they're the mantras or affirmations that you can say to yourself daily or every other day or however often you want to use them. The box is can also be your display, which is kind of nice. Like I have mine propped up on my desk, or you can toss them in your diaper bag. And what I love, because Greer wrote every single one of them, and they're all rooted in science, and that I think is really different than the typical affirmation cards. And when I read like some of the reviews that we have on Amazon, I think that's what differentiates it for moms, is that they're not just super fluffy, they're super deep and meaningful. Which is special. Yeah.
It just makes me so happy because they're not, I always speak to my audience, and with these on Amazon, people from all over the world and all different places are loving them. And that makes me so happy to know that we can reach,
so many
pretty much
people.
anyone with these beautiful universal messages.
I love that. So your audience obviously loves them, but what we're seeing on Amazon is people who haven't seen you yet are finding them and loving them. So that I think is really exciting, that we're bringing a new audience to you that might have not found you otherwise. And that's really special that it's growing and more people are realizing there's this great way to raise your baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm so happy that we're doing this
you're
together.
walking the walk too, which is even more important. So yeah, anyone who is interested, you can get them on Amazon.com. And for our Canadian friends, they will be in stores soon. We'll announce that.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Amazing.
Thanks for having me on.
Much, well, maybe we'll just have you back at Noah's next stage of life. And
I would love that.
We can keep it going, and we'll make sure Josh and Corey do an episode too.
That'll be a really fun one. Yeah, that's cute.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
I'll speak to you soon.